Hi guys, since a lot of you have been asking me how to approach mock exams, well, I'm going ahead and making a three-part series of why, how, and how to revise a mock examination. So in this first part, we will deal with why of the mock examinations. Well, I want to tell you that mock examination hold a very high value and are of high importance when you are approaching a competitive examination or you're trying to prepare for competitive examination, because I want you to understand that mock exams help you understand or learn two important things. One is not only testing your knowledge or the concepts that you have learned, but also it deals with something called as mind training. And this is one thing, that is mind training, that not many students understand. So students think these competitive examinations are just about studying, understanding the concept and going and answering those questions, but it is also to deal with your mind. It's also to be able to apply what you have studied. It's also about stress management, it is also about time management, it's also about mind training. It's about you to know pre-hand how you function in such kind of an exam, so that you're able to understand yourself and your mind and control that mind when you are attempting it in the final or the main examination. And this is what we will be discussing in this first part of the three-part series, as why mock examinations are very important. So I hope you watch the video till the end for some value-based advice. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. I am Dr. Noor Saira, an endodontist and a part-time YouTuber. Well, if you're new to my channel, go ahead and subscribe and hit the notification bell icon so that you're notified every time I upload a value-based video. Well, let us directly jump into why the mock examinations are important when approaching or trying to study for these competitive examination. Well, there are four important points that you need to understand. As the first one is that it helps you test your knowledge. Second, it helps you understand time management. Third, you will learn how your mind functions under a restricted time period and what you should do. And fourth, when you learn to adapt to all these things, you will ultimately gain something out of it that is called as confidence. And how this confidence will help you, let us discuss all these points in detail. Now, the first one is that testing your knowledge. Now, of course, you attempt a mock exam when you have read something and you have some concept understood in your mind. And when you go back and attempt these mock examination, they not only help you understand passive knowledge, but they also help you with something called as the active knowledge. Now, what is passive knowledge and what is active knowledge? Well, passive knowledge is direct questions. You just have to know the question, a value of some material, a percentage of some ingredient in some dental material, or anything of that matter. So that remains a constant. So you don't have to apply your brain, you don't have to calculate any formula, or you don't have to apply in a clinical scenario. So your mind is not going to work. So all you have to do is remember, recall, and answer that question. So this is called as passive knowledge. Now, what is an active knowledge? Active knowledge is where actually you have to go ahead and apply some concept that you have learned and understood. So, for example, calculating the child dose, or calculating the local anesthesia concentration or adrenaline concentration in a cardio-sensitive patient. So, all these things, these are just examples. So, these are applied knowledge where you have to spend some time to apply what you have learned and to be able to answer those questions. So, this not only helps the mock examination, not only help in your passive knowledge training, but also they have help in your active knowledge training. So the next value which these mock exams provide to you are, you train yourself or you train your mind in time management. Now, what is time management? It is basically to be able to answer all the questions in that given period of time, correct? For example, let us take an example of a competitive examination like NEET MDS. Now, NEET MDS has about 240 questions and 3 hours are given to answer those 240 questions, which means effectively you have 180 minutes to answer 240 questions, which to understand further, you have about 40 seconds to 45 seconds to answer each question. out of the 240 questions, now you will have some questions which are again passive knowledge questions, that is, you just need to know the answer, that's percentage or some, somebody who invented something, and that will hardly take 10 seconds. That's either you know it or either you don't know it, right? So those kind of questions will take 10 seconds or max to max 20 seconds for you to answer those questions. And there will be some questions which you have to apply your knowledge, try to recall information, understand the concept. Either it could be a clinical question, a scenario based question, or a percentage question where you have to calculate, or a mathematical question, and you have to spend a good 1 minute or 2 minutes or sometimes even 3 minutes to answer that question. So when you constantly solve these mock exams, suppose you have solved 5 mock exams or 6 mock exams, you will realize these your mind behaving, how does your mind behave in these kind of questions. So you will rectify those mistakes, you will analyze where you are consuming too much mind, how you should train your mind to consume less amount of time in my next trial, in my next mock exam. So eventually when you keep doing this over a period of 10 times or 15 times, you will train your mind to answer these kind of questions, the time consuming questions. What is the key word I should learn in the scenario based question? What is the trick I should apply here to get a faster answer? So only if you do this over a period of time in a constricted or a restricted amount of time is when you will eventually be able to, first of all, understand how you behave in these kind of scenarios, in a stress based scenario, and then you will be able to train your mind to perform better, and this will come only with experience, and this will come only with practice. So instead of going there directly in the examination and experiencing this and wasting your time, even when you know the concept, but since you're under pressure that you don't have time and you have to answer this question faster, all these mistakes have to be done at home. All these mistakes have to be done when you're practicing. So attempt as many as mock exams as you can, at least 15 to 20 mock exams before you go ahead and attempt your main exam. Now this will train your mind to be able to perform in such stressful situation. Now the third thing is, since you will be answering these questions, so there are a lot of us, a lot of students who cannot perform under pressure, which means they panic under a restricted amount of time, and you will realize that only when you are put into that situation. So when you are attempting a mock exam, you limit the time. You limit the time to 180 minutes, you limit the time to 3 hours, you limit that you have no breaks. So basically you put yourself in the situation of an exam. You analyze how you are behaving. Now some people, after attempting 50 to 60 questions, their mind starts to get clouded and you cannot absorb the rest of the questions. So you have to experience that, and then you understand, okay, now after 50 to 60 minutes my mind is getting clouded, what should I do? Maybe you take a 2-minute power nap, right there on the table. It'll refresh your mind, and then you go back to answering. So all this you have to try and test. First of all, you need to understand how you're going to behave in such a scenario, how your mind works. Are you panicking? Are you not panicking? Do you remain calm? Are you getting clouded? Are you not getting clouded? Are you feeling hungry? Do you feel thirsty? Now all these are small things, but they make a huge difference when you are attempting these kind of examinations. So it's important to understand and recognize your habits and to be able to perform in the examination better, because trust me, it is just not about knowledge. There's a lot of people who have good knowledge but they panic, hence they mess up in the examination, and one of them is me. So it's important to control yourself and control your mind and your thought process. So you evaluate these kind of things. If you are somebody, like I said, your mind is getting clouded after 60 questions, try to take a small nap. Try other methods which for 1 or 2 minutes that will probably refresh you. Carry anything, carry some amount of mint in your hand, which will refresh your mind. things like this. I used to carry a chocolate candy because after every 50 to 60 questions, I should take a 2-minute break, have a chocolate, refresh myself, and then sit back for the examination. It looks like a small thing, but it does help in the examination because you're providing glucose to your mind. Same thing with the nap, same thing with having a sip of water. So these small things, trying to relax your mind, trying to calm your mind, do definitely help in the examination, and it's very, very important to practice this, because these are certain mistakes that I did when I was studying for my examination. I used to study so much, but when the examination approached, I always lost my nerve. I always panicked, and I learned very late how to handle myself, how to fall asleep better. So falling asleep one night before the examination is another thing. So your mind remains fresh, you are fresh the next day. So all these are small things that if you train yourself better, you will be able to perform better in the exam. And 1 or 2 answers, getting them correct also does take you far away in the competition. So it's very important to keep these small things in mind. When these things are done properly, the fourth important thing that actually falls into place is that since you're consistently doing mock exams, since you're testing your knowledge consistently, since you're repeating this mock exams repeatedly, since you're mind training, now you know a lot of things. You know how to manage time, you know how to manage yourself, you have some good knowledge, you somewhere know in your mind that how you will be able to perform in the examination. This knowing how you will be able to perform when a normal average paper is given to you, this itself is a very big blessing. It is a very big confidence booster, and it's a very, very big stress reducing factor. Trust me on this when I say this. Not knowing about yourself and how you will be able to perform this situation. I don't know how I will do tomorrow, I don't know how I will sit down in the exam, I don't know how my mind will work tomorrow in the examination. All these, get rid of that. All you should be worried about is how you calm yourself. You have done your best before the examination and you have to just go and attempt. This is what you should do. This is how you should build your confidence. Work hard, but also build your mind. It's called as mind training, and this is very, very important just before the examination. So this is why exactly you should attempt your mock exams. 1, to test your knowledge, both passive and active knowledge, to be able to learn time management, where you should allocate how much amount of time, know yourself. That is how you will respond in the stressful situations. Will you feel hypoglycemic? Will you have an headache? Will you feel clouded? Will you feel agitated or panic, or will you remain calm? And find a solution for all these problems that you face. Also, build your confidence. You should know how you will be able to perform, at least mentally, in the examination. This is very, very important. So I hope this value or this advices have brought value to your life. And in the next coming videos, the second video, we will talk about how to approach or how to attempt mock examinations, basically which tests to take up, and what should be your mindset when you are solving these examinations, and how should you solve these examinations, how many of them, and when to solve, okay, weekly or monthly, and all this we'll discuss in the next video. I hope you go ahead and watch the next video for some more value-based advice. And if you did like this video, please leave a comment in the comment section, so that I understand that these kind of videos are helpful to you students, because when we were giving our examinations, we didn't have such kind of an help. Thank you for watching the video, and all the best for your examination. For more such videos, please like, share, follow, and subscribe my YouTube channel. You can also follow me on Instagram. Have a good day. Thank you.